know, back with another. Oh, now we say we live. Why? See, I be needing like countdowns or something. See, I can't operate like that. But we live right here at Coach's Corner. You feel me? A big shout out to Sand Sports for opening up the platform for us. We're gonna be live on Facebook. I think we live on YouTube right now, Twitch, a lot of other networks. So hopefully everybody can catch on to what we got going on. As you can see, I got my guy down at the screen, Coach Darshaw, defensive coordinator of the year. That's what they called you? Yeah, okay. That's my guy. So we got some good hot topics. We're only gonna be on for an hour. Tell a friend, spread the word. We got some things. I just went live on my phone on Instagram live. So again, like I said, we're gonna get into some things, hot topics today. We're talking about training. We're talking about youth football. We're talking about high school. We're talking about getting recruited. You feel me? So I mean, at the end of the day, I want to make sure that everybody understand that the goal of the year, man, is to be realistic. Being realistic is a good thing, and the quicker you can be realistic, the quicker you get to your goal. That's how I feel. Coach said the same sentiments as myself. And again, nothing is said. Criticism is not hate. I want people to understand that criticism is criticism. Constructive criticism at the end of the day. A lot of people need it. And if you don't understand, some of y'all need to sign up with some receivers, some DB lessons over at Pro Edge. My guy gives constructive criticism. You feel me? But I tell you again, it helps guys, mentally, because we all speak about the game being 90% mental. And I've seen it, he's seen it, that not having it locked in mentally will put you in a bad spot. There he is. He found us. All right. Also live on the segment, we got Coach Mark from Central, Mark Ingram. Like I said, just some good young men that's giving out some good energy. Just want to make sure that everybody understand that what we got going on. I'm sorry if I didn't mention, Coach She is coaching at DePaul. I got she coaching at DePaul Catholic. Big things coming from them this year. Y'all know I'm invested, y'all. I'm locked in on two sides of the fence this year. Okay, so everybody gotta understand that you see me with that green and white on. I got money in the game. I got
It's all
skin in
love.
here. You know what I'm saying? All love, and of course myself coaching at West Orange High School this year. We all gearing up. Guys got big weekends and big weeks coming up. So, just definitely want to make sure that everybody understands. So let's get to this part. Like I said, that training part, that training thing. Right now, all three coaches we just explained are high school coaches. And I know youth football is kicking off a lot right now. Oh yeah, well yeah, that's some other stuff they're gonna be able to get to and eventually. But we want to get to the comment. I want to get to that comment that she posted up earlier. So, right now we live in high school football season, youth football season, even college football season is going right now. And a lot of guys get some downtime or Saturday, maybe you're off practice early, whatever the case may be. And I want people to understand, what does that mean, that time and using your time wisely. Well, my big bro, like I told y'all at the bottom, man, he put this message up that you can see. Hey, shit, man, just read it out to the people that don't like to read out loud. You feel me?
So, message to the athletes and parents: stop training just to say you're training because it's a part of the norm. Have purpose in your training. Communicate with your trainer on what you need to work on, not just doing shit, especially for posts on social media, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff.
All that good stuff. Now, I know a lot of people heard it out loud, and you can read it, which is great. But I want people to understand what exactly that means. That means that it's not training for clout. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
posting something just as people could say that, yeah, I'm just outside, is what you say, looking for the getting wrecked or smoke or whatever the hell the terminology is nowadays. You have to understand that in a self-evaluation is key.
Mm-hmm.
Learning about what you need to improve on in your game to help you get ready for the upcoming season. That's probably something you need to be working on if you're not already paying attention to what's happening inside your own practices. Because I know in my indie period, I'm trying to work on the stuff that kids need to learn for the game, but I'm also trying to help you understand what you need to know. Now, if you're struggling with stuff like that, then yeah, get training on that. but don't go out and try to do. So I'm a D-line coach, right? And we teach. We got a 30 front, and I got my nose guard dipping and ripping in the gap. But then you go somewhere else, and he teaches you the 2 gap. That's not going to help you when you get to me, okay? And you're not going to play, and it's going to be like, well, Coach Don don't want to play me. No, Coach Don wants to play you, but you have to do your job as constructed by our defense. Coach She could explain to you what that will mean on his side. And see what you got.
I mean, just from being on both sides of it, as far as being a coach and, being a quote unquote trainer, not all of my guys that I coach train with me. So I always instruct them to whoever you're training with, make sure you're working on the techniques and the things that you need to work on that we do. All right. And so let's say for DBs, for example, if you're a DB and your school they do cover 2 defense. Now you shouldn't be with your trainer doing cover 3 stuff because you're not doing cover 3 stuff with your school.
Right. It's not going to help you.
It's not going to help you. So now there's generic movements for every position. There's movement specialists for every position. But when it comes down to the specifics, you should be telling your trainer, hey, this is what I struggle with. This is what I need to work on. This is what my school does. And, have a plan, purpose, right? Not just doing drills just to do drills. And then you post it on social media.
Right.
And then you get back to me. And now I got to fix everything you should have been working on this whole off season. And then you're going to be wondering why you're not getting what I've been putting all this work in. But was it
in the wrong, counterproductive?
Was it purposeful? Right? Out here just to be out here saying you're working. So that's kind of what that means. Have a purpose. Same thing with receiver, quarterback, every position. If you're a quarterback and your offense don't run zone read and all that stuff, why are you doing it?
Right.
So just have purpose in your training. And you should be telling your trainer what you need to work on, not the other way around. Hey, we're going to work on this today. But if it's not conducive to what I need to work on, then why are we doing it?
Right. And again, this all goes back to being realistic. You have to be realistic and be honest and understanding what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. And like Coach She just said, what your coach is running. A lot of you guys are in high school, so you already, if you're a freshman, you probably just getting the whiff of what they running. You're a sophomore, you're a junior, going into your senior, you know what they're running. So you should start getting yourself acclimated and ready for that, and that's the best way to do it. So, I want people to really understand what this message means. Again, like I said, we talked about constructive criticism. Everything is about that. What we got Coach BJ says is there's such thing as too many coaches, especially everyone having a trainer. I mean, the right person, if you lock into the right people, then you don't need that many people, in my opinion. I mean, some of my guys got me as a defensive position coach and maybe one trainer. And I think that's pretty much what you need. I don't know. It all depends on what the parent wants to pay for, too, because that's the other part of the game. You got a lot of parents that are willing to pay for the strength coach. Then they have the stretchologist. Then they have the position coach. You got your already, a trainer, position trainer. So, it's a one thing. I mean, see what you think. You think too many?
I think it's a matter of everybody being on the same page.
That part.
So
that part.
Just for example, myself, Coach Dom, and a player that we're both invested in, we got on the group chat and said, here's his off-season plan. So now we all on the same page where I'm not doing something, this person's not doing something, right? We're all on the same page. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm a defensive back coach or defensive back trainer and you were going to a lift trainer, okay, cool. You're working on your strength and conditioning. I'm not going to try to kill your legs in my session because I know you just came from another session. You know what I mean? So I think if everybody is working together and with a plan, then it's purpose, right? As long as everyone has a plan. Some people have different trainers for different things, and that's okay if you have a plan. Trainers should be talking to each other. The moms should be talking to the trainers. The trainers, right? It should be a collective.
Yes.
We supposedly all want the same thing for the kid. But that's a whole nother thing where guys just want money.
That might be for another segment right
Yeah, that's
there.
a whole
You
nother
already
thing.
know how we do. But now, like I said, since we still on training, like I said, I want to also, like he just spoke about, how we came together to build a program for the individual. I want people to understand that part of that program was rest and rehab. Rest and rehab, like I just said, communicating with the trainers, helping us understand, okay, what's going on with his body. That's a big important part of training as well. So, I know some people heard me say cryotherapy and, masseuse and all of these things. These things help. Sometimes just going home and going to sleep, these things help. 8 hours of sleep is almost just as important as trying to be able to improve your bench press. Okay. You can't do one without the other. Or what he just said with the skill building part. You go to Sheed every week, twice a week, and then you got your own practices going on. But if you're not trying to find no time to rest that body, rehab that body, only thing you're gonna do is just break it down, break down, break down. And when it's time to make the money, which was me and Sheed's biggest issue, we wanted to make sure that when it was time to make the money, we still waiting to see if that happens, that the money could be made. But if you sitting there and you just running, and next thing you know, now your body breaks down on you, but now you get pushed out the club, like next guy up. And I mean, again, that comes with understanding, like we just talked about, being realistic. What's happening into the body? What's happening? Is it breaking down? Are we doing too much? Are we doing too little? This is what she just said about communicating, talking, everybody being on the same page. That's the best way I think that goes about. But
because everybody think it's you got to train because that's what society is pushing right now and all those things. But everything you do, you have to have a purpose, and this is just outside of football, outside of training. Just have purpose in everything that you're doing, right? If you don't have the information, then you need to go and get the information. That's why this platform is very good, because some parents, they don't understand, and especially the single parent, the moms, and they got so many people in their ear. And they're just because, hey, I trust this guy. But sometimes you just need to be like, hold on, we're doing a little bit too much, right? Let's plan this out accordingly. And then, especially as you're getting closer to your football season.
And that's what I'm talking about. We got to make sure you plan, put the plan into action and then execute it. I'm gonna see if I get my man B to post that put up that what is that thing? The flyer that I had of the training regiment, the college readiness, and B, if you could pull it up, the college readiness program. But anyway, the thing is that we had set up, not that one where we got the college readiness program. Yeah, there we go. So this is some of the stuff obviously in the brand that we try to offer, right? That a little more than just training. All right. You got to have everything involved. We test drove this year. It wasn't a bad thing. We're going to definitely build and do more. Me networking with the guys at Pro Edge, some other personal trainers that I know, just trying to put kids in the right position, along with, doing some stuff around the community and doing a lot of things with going to college visits. These things are major. They help, so when parents don't really kind of have like a person to go to, I want to kind of let people understand that DM is a brand that you can go to, and there is no bias and there's no ego. Like my boy Sheed always say, I already got mine. I don't hang my hat on no kid. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is just trying to make sure guys are in position and trying to give parents and kids the right information, because there is a lot of people that give out the wrong information. And that kind of starts, honestly, when I'm going to jump into my next segment in the Little League ranks, right? So in the Little League, I get it that, that single mom or those moms and dads that come together, they kind of like, okay, we're going to put our kid in this young program, and he's probably 8, 9, 10 years old. And you've been in that program for about 5 years. So you develop a certain trust in that program with the people around that program. And listen, I've coached Little League football. I work with a lot of young kids, so I can understand what that trust means. But sometimes you got to check the resume on people too. You have to make sure that these people have worked with people and guided them towards levels where you aspire for your child to be. If that doesn't happen, then maybe, you've kind of ran your race with that person, and that person can support you in another light, but just not in this light of training, okay, or in this light of going to high school or in anything. So, my thoughts is when they talk about Little League football, I said to she before we got on that football is the longest sport to be successful. Like as far as the higher echelon, the NFL, right? That's a 24-year-old man at that point. So while your kid is at 10 years old, don't make more of this thing than what it really is. He's a 10-year-old. He's probably a pretty good damn 10-year-old, but at the end of the day, he's still 10. And it's going to take him 14 years if he actually achieves the, what is it, 1%, I think, that actually makes it or something like that. So if he actually gets to that level, it's going to take 14 years. So my thing is it worth playing for everybody in the state, or do you find the the Little League program that's closest to you where you can just kind of work that way out? Coach, football is life. He wants to play in the NFL. We all do, right? We all want to get to the next level, the highest level. But at the end of the day, getting to that level don't mean you play 30 Little League football games at 11 years old.
Yeah.
That's a travesty is what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing it because a lot of people have this don't duck smoke type of mentality right now. But the ones that's not ducking smoke, you're adults. You're not even playing anymore. Okay. So we have to start being mindful to the kids and the kids' bodies that we're putting out there. This is a very violent and dangerous sport. And on Little League, a lot of guys that tackling, that learning how to get in the stance and getting, stance to start. These things are very, very, very important. Can you talk about kids playing tackle football from March? So that's that spring ball, I think.
I'm not a fan of tackling, because that's, like you're saying, that's a lot on adults to be tackling from March all the way through. That's a lot. Even my son right now, he's 13. He's not playing spring ball. He don't play spring ball. He played football when it's time to play football. During that time, he's training and he's watching film with me and things of that nature. But me personally, right, I don't see the benefit of your child, especially at the youth level, playing football from March all the way to December. To me, I don't know. The old saying is you get better, by playing football. Well, you have to be taught the right way to play football in order to get better at football. So, and it's not to take shots at anybody.
Not at all.
This is not a personal thing. It's just the well-being of these boys, right? And it takes away from them developing other movements in other sports, because now it's football all the way through or baseball all the way through, so. I'm not a fan of it as far as playing football all the way through. It's too much wear and tear for the body. The brain development of these boys with all that contact, these are crucial times in their life where their brain development is key.
Yeah,
especially for the big boys, that's contact, whether it's physical or not. They're bumping into each other
every time. In the trenches, they are banging. It's not a play. They don't bang.
I'm really not a fan of it, to answer your question about playing tackle. I don't think it benefits the kids at all, to be honest.
Right. I'm gonna tell you, I said this in our last segment, was finding complementary sports for your kids. Because sometimes I'm a big football guy. I got that part. But that don't mean that my nephew's going to be a big football guy. Athletically, mentally, a lot of that. So when that other time, which was March to before the next time they come out, I mean, there's baseball that's happening. There's track that's happening. There's basketball that's happening. Find another sport, a complementary sport. Find something that there he is. And this is my guy right here. Mark is coming from the supermarket. I can hear his cart all through the live. You gotta love your friends, man. They come as real as they can. You feel me? But Mark actually has the athlete that's actually in our picture right here, Jocelyn Reed. Jocelyn Reed here, Monmouth commit, 3-sport athlete. He played football, played baseball, and ran track. a complementary sport where maybe if one sport didn't come into light with a scholarship offer, the other one probably would have. But putting all your eggs in one basket again, that's kind of not with a lot of kids. And we talking about the youth level again still. So let's make sure I'm on track with that. On the youth level, like all year long football, not a
Yeah.
big suggestion of mine. Big
Especially
suggestion of mine.
tackle.
Nah,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
especially
and
tackle.
and I think we get it confused with what down south doing, right? Because all year football, the Pop Warner programs down south coexist with the high schools. So you're
Hmm.
not learning a different offense or a different defense every couple of months.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, and again, we can't be something that we ain't. All right.
Right.
We're in New Jersey and it gets cold in the winter. And when it gets cold, you have certain facilities, isn't that right, Chief? That
Yeah.
you can go inside and get good quality work. There's certain places that if we wanted to go to the high school ranks, all three guys here have certain facilities where you can work on your upper body, your lower body, your core. Okay,
Yeah.
that's called the weight room. You know what I mean? It's a lot of things that you can do that you need to do to start improving on that body. And if we're talking about the youth football ranks, it's even more important for them to get involved in doing, like I said, working on their upper body, their core, sit-ups, push-ups, body weight squats. These things going to help those kids out tremendously. But
Mhm.
just having them play football from, I believe the season or the preseason starts in like late July, August,
Mhm.
till about November, maybe December if they travel out of state. Then you take 1 or 2 month break and come right back into that thing. What is that? Maybe March. And then you're gonna play from March till I think the last spring game I heard was played at May.
Yeah,
That's not
that's too much.
that's a
That's too
lot.
much. That's too much tackling.
That's
Kids.
way too much tackling. And I'm gonna be honest, not enough teaching. Not a lot of
Yeah.
kids that I've seen on that youth level. Again, no shots and no shade. But I have not seen, I don't know why I'm getting feedback. That's me, I don't know. But I have not seen, I go to the practice, I see a kid, now he don't know how to get a 3-point stance. These are basic fundamentally things that I'm looking at. You're looking at DBs, they don't know how to get into a pedal. They know how to get into their like receivers, hand, what we call it. So you got your hands laying on your hand on your knees, just don't even know what you got to do. You're not even ready to compete. You're just
Mhm.
outside running around. And those bad habits, unless people take the time out, parents, to find good trainers, good people to be around, good programs to be around, take the ego out of it and just let your kid learn. Like I said, football takes the longest to get to the end of the road, so it should be a
Yeah.
lot of learning involved in that. So that's where that goes. How important is seven
And
on
I think
seven?
that's what parents get it mixed up at, is that football is more mental than physical.
Right, that's what we were saying. We definitely said that up there. That for the fact that that you have to focus more on learning how to
Mhm.
play a position. And I mean, I could be honest to y'all, man. I seen she transform my nephew like that. But it took a lot of time and learning that okay, what I'm doing right here ain't really what I should be doing. So let me start to focus and hone in on how to be a solid receiver. I mean, she to
Mhm.
tell you he want to run from here to the wall at 100 miles an hour, but couldn't control it. So we got to
Mhm.
work on learning how to control the speed and then starting to focus on how to catch the ball consistently. We still trying to focus on that sheet, but it is what it is. So shout out to Off the Top. Yeah, we got the DM Coaches Corner going live, man.
Yeah.
Again, for those that's checking in, I got Coach Rashid Dorsal, man. We call him Coach Sheed, you already know, from DePaul Catholic. Defensive Coach of the Year, Coordinator of the Year. I'm saying that. I don't care if you don't like me not saying, I'm not Mr. Humble. And then I got Coach Mark Ingram from North Central, the head coach, live checked in on the Coach's Corner. I want to get to that other segment. I'll let it take me to my high school spot. And the comment was, how important do I think 7-on-7 is? If we're talking about with your high school, very important because you can learn a lot of stuff before it gets to the nitty gritty of how to be good at your position. If we're talking about the AAU side of 7-on-7, like people can see on that flyer, I do have 7-on-7 there. I do not think it's important because it's not controlled. Only things that are controlled. So if I have my 7-on-7 team and I bring in team B, I don't like saying names, so I bring in team B and we compete on things that we went over the first, let's say she does his practice as wide receiver trainers on Friday. So first 3 Fridays of the month, we do she's receiving training. Now I bring in another 7-on-7 team to compete with my team and let them spar, so to speak. Now we get to teach. Now that's important, but that's not what's outside. What's outside is fly to Myrtle Beach, fly to Las Vegas, fly to Florida, fly anywhere all over the world to play 7-on-7. And me and she had an issue about the culture. That's the part of the
Yeah.
reason why I don't like.
Yeah, the culture is not a good culture. We're not
The
teaching.
culture is a very bad culture. It's a very toxic culture.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's a very scholarship taking culture. You guys are going to start to see it. They're going to start to see a lot of 5 stars that guys won on their teams and 3s and 4 stars, whatever, getting their scholarships taken away by how the culture is presenting them. You guys got to understand what that name, image, and likeness means. You represent a lot more than just your name, your image, and your likeness. So, you know, Sheed, you go ahead if you want to chime in on that.
Yeah,
7-on-7.
Like I said, if it's like you said, if it's controlled. But again, when it comes to culture, culture is created and allowed. So what's happening is we're creating a culture where, you know, it's a trickle down effect, because now I see kids doing some of these celebrations and some of these things are just flat out disrespectful. If this was happening in our era, the tournament will be over, because you're not gonna fan your hand in my face,
your
in
thing.
the genital area.
Yeah, we're
You're not doing that to me. So that's what I you know, you're talking about is the culture of it. You know, 7-on-7 is fun. It's something to do. You know, even at the youth level, I would rather them do 7-on-7 than actually tackling during the springtime and then trickle that into their, you know, tackle season.
Yes.
And it's just the culture of it, to where I see kids at the youth level, somebody it's ridiculous because of the culture. And
then you talk about the culture that's accepted. That's, again, we're adults. Let's all be clear about how this works, right? There are kids that do what adults allow. Okay.
There you go.
So if the adults allow that, that's how I also start to hear a lot of the arguing back and forth of one adult to another adult about how his team is doing this and my team is doing that. Egos, like, this is parents. Like, we really parents really have to lock in, tap in, understand that, like, you know, what you're putting your kids around. Okay, you have to. And like, you know, with the fact the way how this culture is growing, I'm telling you, it's going to be a detriment to a lot of guys' careers. Okay, it really is. But you know, like Coach said, let's get back on that little league part. I like that. A lot of people don't understand. I go to a lot of little league games. I know you've been to a lot of league games. You see run. So the best thing to help those kids that ran the ball probably all day from the July period all the way to that Florida period, whatever that was that they like to go to, is to probably work on 7-on-7, where they can work on catching and running at the same time. Again, controlled though. Because again, whether they playing for the Plastic Trophy and West Orange are playing for the Plastic Trophy in New Mexico, it's still just a Plastic Trophy. Got a couple of them right here in the house. I know this guy right here, he got a whole slew of them probably, all right? Like, it's not that big of a deal, but the biggest deal is making sure the kids understand, learn, and grow. Like, that's the biggest part of the thing. So I'm at the halfway point. We did jump into the high school joint. Let's see what I want to think about, man. What I want to think about. Yeah, oh no, listen, man, I don't even want to hear about that. You got
You know,
7 to 8
it's
year
just a
olds.
culture thing, man, and everything you do is it's a culture thing, man. Like that's what trainers, coaches, that's what we got into this thing to do. We're servants. But again, if I got all the trophies and I got all the things, now I can spin my own narrative. Now I can spin my narrative and say, look what I've done. Right? Instead of giving the credit to these kids. Like, yes, we appreciate all you coaches and trainers, but if you're in this for the wrong purpose, right, then we're doing these kids a disservice.
Disservice, big
And
time.
that's my gripe with this thing is, yes, like you said, you know, you're getting the trophies. It's great to have them, but what is it doing? Is that helping you get better as a player? But again, if I'm the coach and I keep winning all these trophies, I could flaunt that to you. Like, look what I've won. Look what I've done in my program.
Right.
And it's just you know, we got to redirect this thing and restore order of what our purpose was becoming a coach, becoming a trainer. Because
Right.
it wasn't really about money, because there's not a lot of money in this thing unless you're coaching at the highest level. So what we got to get back to the purpose of this thing, right? And that's the development of these kids. But a lot of us as coaches and trainers, right, without throwing out any names, our ego is too involved in this thing, right? And then we're manipulating and creating narratives for these parents, men and women, right? Mothers and fathers. We're creating these narratives, but that's not good. You know, and reclass, and I know we're going to talk about that. You know, that's it's another narrative, right? It's a narrative of manipulation. So I just think we got to restore order and get back to the purpose of why we became coaches, trainers, mentors, etc.
Mark, I'm gonna let you have a little bit on how important do you think 7-on-7 is to you, you know, from your point of view.
I think it's more for the offense side of the ball, like get your timing down pat, your routes. But defensively, like it's not realistic. Like it's not like you want your guys running to the ball, but I mean it's okay, but don't overdo it. Like don't overdo it. Like it's fun, but don't get used to it.
Okay. So now my thoughts is this though, like check this here. So in the high school world, 7-on-7 acceptable. Outside of the high school world, the AAU world, 7-on-7, do you accept it? Do you think a little too much overkill now? How do you
Not
feel
yeah,
about that?
because during that season, I want my guys to be in the weight room running track. Like I really don't approve of that. Like if you're gonna do 7-on-7, I want you to be with your team, with your guys, with your quarterback. During that season, what you practice 1-2 days a week, then go out there and just play when you could be training and you want to spend money. If you playing for a legit seven on
And
seven.
you gonna spend money. Hey,
Yeah,
let me
coach
get into the
made a huge point, because now, you know, during that time, like you said, when you should be building that chemistry and that culture with your team, you out there with 7-on-7 with the AAU 7-on-7. I think I made a post about that too.
Yes, you did. Yes, you
Right?
did.
Your team, your
events.
training and your team events that's outside of your school should not come before your school. You know, so coach definitely touched on that. That's another thing about this thing is getting ridiculous.
And that's the other part. Now, about that part, we could talk about how, again, we talked about before, she communicating. You know what I'm saying? If the parent and the coaches are communicating, understanding what time it is, well, the parent will understand that he can't make that tournament because we have a team event going on, or like you said, Mark, we have we got something where they need to get in this weight room, get on these tracks, get on these, you know, on this wrestling
just
match.
like Coach said,
It's
like
a
you
lot of
missing
stuff.
that building, that climbing and culture with your team while you outside doing something else when everybody else grinding in the weight room and building.
And potentially developing or continuing more bad habits. You know, like we just talked about the mentality of most of the kids, the way how that culture, like we just spoke about earlier. When now you go over there, you think that when you score a touchdown, you get to throw the football up, and you think you could do that in the football game in September. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. That's a 15-yarder, and you won't play again. Like, trust me, it's 3 dudes right here. They like that. Okay, they like that, dog. They don't play with that. It's crazy. My cousin had a 4-year Rodney Morgan. He went and did an 18U 7-on-7 and hurt himself. But that's the part about being aware, understanding. You know, like I'm gonna tell you this, and she's on the same page as me on this one. I know for sure. At the end of the day, once you start to get, and this is just my opinion, anybody that's listening, once you start to get the college offers, like they're coming to you now, they calling you up, they want to know what's happening. Yo, a lot of that 7-on-7 shit, bro, step away. Step away. They don't need to do it no more. Like, if you liked to do it, that was cool. Once you started to become a priority for some colleges, now the focus has to change. You went from chasing the attention, now the schools are giving you the attention. So now at this point, you have to change the mentality. What does that mean? Increase the workouts, like you heard Coach Mark say, get in the weight room, developing the track, trying to get that speed right. Like you heard Coach Shee say, working on your craft, getting with some good trainers that can understand a plan. Listen, we running cover 3 over here. I want to make sure that I'm set for running the cover 3. I don't want to be doing man turns. I shouldn't be doing man turns and whatever the case may be. Like, this is what you need to know. You know what I'm trying to say? But that's a mentality, and putting yourself around the right people. That's very, very important to start understanding and looking into people's eyes when they talking to you. You let a person talk long enough, they're gonna tell you exactly what their intentions are. Real rap. Like, just let them keep talking. Oh, if all he keeps saying, no, he's great, he's the man, he ain't gonna worry about nothing, run.
Oh yeah, my sessions ain't nothing like that.
Oh hell no, please. With your bum ass.
Yeah,
it don't work. Like, you don't need nobody to be constantly praising you and putting you on these pedestals. Like, that's not it. And it's, again, like we talked about the culture of 7-on-7, that's bad for you. All of that praising is bad for you too. There's a lot of things that's going on. Actually, I want to tap that in this high school culture. So on my field over here at West Orange, Coach Grant's field, make sure everybody understands, it's not my show. It's Coach Grant's show, all right? But at West Orange High School, you know, sometimes we have to, how can we say, alter the energy because, you know, you got a lot of yacht that goes on because someone, not so much us, because I understand I'm a little bit of this guy right next to me, when I'm in practice, it ain't something pretty. So some of us giving out too much praise. We walk in there with our chest up thinking that we the man. Don't worry. Listen, whether you got 5 offers, 0 offers, 10 stars, no stars, everybody's important to the program. Nobody bigger than the program. So once kids start to understand that and lock that in, then you should be okay. I mean, y'all fellas, y'all can time on that if you want.
I mean, you stopped by yesterday and you seen me getting that probably one of my better players nonstop because, like, if he could get coached up all the time and get yelled at, then nobody's above the team, like you said. Like, and nobody get treated different because you don't need one person on the football field, you need 11.
And then some. You know what I mean?
Right.
Somebody go down, next man up. So that's a part of the business, you know.
And it's just a thing that it just correlates to life, right? When you become a man, people are not going to give you your praise until you're dead. You're not even going to hear it. So, you know, I had a conversation with my guys in the meeting yesterday. I was like, when was the last time you told your father, I appreciate you? When was the last time, you know, there's some kids that don't have fathers. I said, don't you wish you can tell your father you can appreciate you? So as men, it's unfortunate that we don't even look for the praise. So when you become a man, if you're looking for the praise all the time, you're doing yourself a disservice. Just do it with the purpose and just be genuine in what you're doing. The praise will come, right? People will talk good about you. But if you're constantly looking for it, you know, there's a time and a place when it comes to the kids and hug them up and love them up a little bit. But if it's all the time, every rep is good, what are we really doing?
Is he really improving that good? Right. Don't need me. If you improving that good, I'm just an extra in the show. Right. Moses said, in youth and high school, how do you separate the kid from the dad/parent who won't let them be them? I like that part.
I got a perfect answer for that.
Dad/parent. Hey, you want to go? Go ahead, get after it. I'll jump on after. I love it.
You just got to be direct. Like, you know, a lot of coaches, they like to be politically correct because you may not want to lose somebody and all that other stuff. but you got to be real what you're doing, right? I actually had that conversation with a dad, to where I'll have a meeting with the dad or the parent and the kid. So we're all sitting in a room together. I'm not going to have a meeting with just you. Oh, I don't need my son to be there. No, you do need your son to be there, because we all need to come together with some type of agreement of what it is you're going to get with me, what I expect from him, and how I'm going to be. So now when it happens, there's no confusion.
Right.
And if you trust what I'm doing based off of my track record, then trust what I'm doing. And if
Right.
you trust what
Give
I'm
me
doing,
that book back, bro.
the purpose of you being
Run that book back. Give me my hat.
This guy. I'm telling you, man.
But yeah, I think you just got to be honest and direct. People may not like it, but at least they'll appreciate it.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, the track record says everything. And, guys been coaching for a long time. You got to lean. I lean on it. I ain't gonna lie. I lean on it. It ain't. I'm not sitting here thinking that, well, if I say the wrong thing, you're gonna leave. I won't win another state title. You heard me say another. That mean I got him already. It doesn't matter, if I don't say nothing to this kid, he's gonna leave, and another Division I kid left off the bench. Well, again, you heard me say another. I got them already. So I lean on the fact of what I've done, and when I speak to people, I have to give them, like she said, the straight, honest truth. If they don't like it, then that is what it is. But at least the truth was said. Okay, right. I can't not say it. Then next thing you know, I become a part of the problem of all of the people that kind of just, like we just said, putting this joke on the pedestal. Oh, don't worry about it. He'll be okay. Like I said, just a little more hard work, and then you probably get something. You get where you got to be. Nah, not exactly. Listen, he dogging it. He BS's it. And he knows. Tell him what I told you at practice. Like that. That's what it has to be. Because that's. Any other way is just, to me, bullshitting. Keeping it 100 with you.
Can I add one?
What you got then?
So I had this kid. His father wanted him to play running back, but every time you got the ball, like you can see him flinch right before the hit. I put him a wide receiver in the slot. His first step, if you didn't touch him, he was gone. He was pop and he was gone, and his speed was take off. You know how many pop passes we threw up to this kid? And this kid caught touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. His father pulled him from the team because he said I was playing daddy ball because I wouldn't put his son at running back. He got 5 touchdowns and he got 3 of
them. Listen,
you can't help it. You can't help and save.
Can't save them all.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I was mad for like 3 days. I was mad for like 3 days. I ain't never played daddy ball in my fucking life. Bro. I was mad as shit. That's all I wanted to say.
That's all you wanted to say. Hey, B, go ahead, man. I'm going back to my corner. Nah, I mean, at the end of the day, parents are gonna have their own opinion, man. They're their own kids. Trust me. I've worked with some parents. Kids since they was babes pretty much, and then next thing you know they want to make their own decision, do their own thing. Never personal,
because they're gonna have somebody in their ear saying, you know what, I could play them at running back. They don't know what they don't. So it's just
it's crazy. Life goes on,
right?
That's how it works. What we got here? Hey, coach, what's a good strategy to keep youth athletes K-8 focused on fun and living in the moment versus worrying about scholarships at the next level? That's kind of what we talked about earlier, with understanding that football is a long sport to get to the end. And the end, like me and she spoke about earlier, is only about 0.7% that makes it. So if we can understand that, then the whole mindset of what that kid does from K-8 shouldn't even be thinking about that. It should be everything on, hate to get religious, on living in the day, appreciating the day. The first thing was waking up, and that was the first blessing. And whatever happens today, just love on it. Just love on it. Because you got some people who can't play. It just happens like that. Some people that play and make one play and crash out. So my thoughts of when you talk about 7 to 8, just enjoy that time. Like, don't even put no weight on it. I'm Mr. Cake and Ice Cream, man. Like,
you
had a good time, man. That's what's up. Let's go. Because eventually record everything too, man. Like just live and love in that moment, because when it's over, oh, it be over, dog. It don't be a continuation to try again. It be over. So, you know, I don't think that, you know, anybody should be trying to make a kid, like you said, K through 8, a first grader, a 5-star motherfucking, excuse my French, corner at Ohio State right now. Like, it's not happening.
But you know, now they tapping into that market where they're ranking these kids.
Again,
They're
a
ranking these kids.
bunch of what we call money grabs.
Yeah,
Money
so
grabs.
it makes it hard for a parent that don't know, you know, to try to do that, because again, you want it to be fun for the kids, but the way the narratives and society is pushing these things, it makes it very difficult. So you as a parent have to kind of pull your kid back and make it known to them, like, hey, you don't have to do this. Right? We want to have fun with this. We want to be the best at it, absolutely, but you don't have to do this.
Right.
I've had kids that I've trained, 12 years old, tell me I'm tired. And I'm like, why are you tired? Because I don't want to do this anymore. Because now you took the fun out of it.
Took the fun out.
It's a job now. I'm going to school 8 hours a day. Then I'm going to training here. Then I'm going to training here. Then you're pushing me to go to weight training. Then I got to go to practice. Now it takes the fun out of it. And this kid was a really good player. And he decided that he don't want to play anymore.
You burn him out. Burn them out. And the other thing is, a lot of parents, I want you to understand this, and I was talking to my friend about this. At the end of the day, you technically don't even want your kid to be good when he's young. Like, you don't even want him to peak. Like, just let him just grow. Let him grow. Because the last thing you want is your 10-year-old or your 11-year-old, he's running up and down the field, you know, touchdown, left, right, whatever the case may be. He might have just peaked. And then he go to 15 and he get to that high school team and he trying to get himself on the field. And it's like, they blowing I can't get on the field because you can't get on the field because the guys got better now. Everybody has a time. Everybody has a time. And I don't think that you can dictate that time. And I'm going to use this time to talk about reclass. Because I've seen a trend of a lot of people go, well, you know, we're just going to reclass him. I'm just going, you know, he'll be ready and more prepared for the next level. What level is this? Because if we're talking about the high school level, then he's still going to have to play up. Like, he'll always have to play 3 grades up. I know right now they got the age-specific type football, so 12s playing 12s and 13 playing 13s. But the moment he walked into DePaul, West Orange, Central, any high school in the country, he playing freshmen against seniors. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. So I don't see no 1 year. This is just Don's opinion. I'll let the boys have the floor after I finish. I don't see no 1 year of reclassing helping you for that. And again, let me say this. This is the longest sport. The ride is just a long ride. If you're not ready when you get to college, they're just going to go ahead and sit you on a red shirt. Nothing wrong with that. But you got to understand what this means. Go ahead, Sheed. You can hit it and Mark glad the sheet if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be quick, but it's a good and a bad to every situation.
That's it. And I'll agree to that.
It's always good. So I've seen kids reclass and it panned out great for them because of they're a little bit older, maturity wise.
I got Mike Bright chiming in. Worked out great for Mike Bright. Mike Bright, shout out to you. Shout out to you.
You know, handling the high school criteria. And I've seen guys reclass and it didn't pan out. I've seen guys not reclass. A perfect example is Ronnie Hickman. He was a young freshman when he came in. Now he started at Ohio State. Now he's
Cleveland Browns.
He's going to be a starter for the Cleveland Browns. So I've seen it work for and against on both sides of the fence. So I think when people are spreading these narratives, that's my biggest thing. Don't give narratives that reclass is the only way or don't reclass is the only way. Give both.
Give them both.
Give them both because now they're gonna make the educated decision for themselves on what their child should do. Hey, my child struggles in school, so I think I'm gonna reclass him so he can get his mental and maturity level ready for high school. Or
Mhm.
my kid is only 4'3". He's going to high school next year. Okay, maybe I might want to get his body ready, right? So it's always a good and a pro and a con to both sides of the fence. So the people that spread the narrative for either side, I kind of like pause, like give them both, because sometimes reclassing is good.
Sometimes it.
reclassing is bad. So
Mhm.
as long as we give the right information,
And identifying, right? So like let's make
Absolutely.
sure we identify what's the targets, what's the goals, who are we reclassing? Like I heard you say 4'3". 4'3", you take your ass to high school. Now, shout out to my big homie Mike Bright, daddy, brother,
yeah.
and maturity.
And he needed the reclass because
That's what I said.
he
And
wasn't always that
sometimes
tall.
because you don't quite grab what this really means, a
Right.
year back will help you.
Yeah.
But then you got other situations. I mean, Mark, you can help me out with that. When you got other situations, you're like, well, I don't think you need to be doing this. You need to kind of get up to the next level. You
Right.
feel me?
Yeah, nah, that's just like Muhammad Kamara, right? He played for a Pop Warner program. A lot of kids reclass. He was with at some point, like you touched on this earlier. Some kids peaked a little bit earlier, right?
Mhm.
But he kept working, kept grinding. Now he's a 5th-round draft pick playing for the Miami Dolphins.
Right.
But like Coach said, it's a case by case situation. Like it's not good, it's not bad. Depends on your situation, your
Yeah.
time, your size, whether academically or you need to get better.
And let's start stressing that a lot. Hey, Coach, I'm gonna let you get in on this too, on this reclass topic. But I want everybody to understand, academically, I really want people to start putting as much time in that as we do try to find these trainings, 7-on-7s, like for real, man, for real.
Right.
That's a whole nother situation. Coach Stone, man, go ahead and bring it in. What's your thoughts and topics on this reclass thing, pros and cons?
Pros and cons.
I mean, you could just give me what you think. You already know, man. We spitting ball. It don't matter to me.
I'm a South Side guy and I'm a Midwest guy. And we have all these things going on with people transferring. A guy going from public to private, then back to the same public school, and then they're not even like stopping the kid. But my thing is this: if you can reclass them, whatever, but if whatever their age you're playing at, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, God has gifted people with talents. Like I think you said something about a 4'3" kid. I understand, like that's different. Well, but I don't think Jimmy's and the Joes. These kids nowadays, these athletes, because you guys are talking about high school probably for reclassing mainly, right? The biggest thing I would say is put the work in.
Yeah.
All right. That's
work in every day.
reclass with a purpose, right, Coach Stone? That's what you're saying right there. That's another thing. See, don't just stay back to run the ball for some neighborhood town. Right? Like reclass with a purpose now. Make sure you understand.
There's narratives, and the people that's painting these narratives, they only select the few kids that reclass that's successful, and they tell that story. So now everyone believes that, all right, I'm going to do it because they selected the few kids that reclass and made it.
Don Massey reclass. He ended up in the New York Giants. I'm telling you right now,
kids that reclass that's looking shaky and ain't nobody talking about.
Because that don't fit the narrative.
So check. I got, again, let me get to Mike Bright. Like I said, I really like Mike Bright in on this topic again, like I said, because he lived it. I believe, Mike, you've done it for your last one. I think the older one you didn't do it for. Mike has 3 boys, y'all. All right, so one's a basketball player, 2 football players. They just dynamite. But Mike says, if you reclass, my only advice is don't waste his 12 months. Like we said, reclassing with a purpose. All right. Work on the issues of why you reclass, be it academic support, maturity, physical development, or skill development. Like I said, he's a great person to give a great example of what the reclass thing, pros, cons of what you want to do. Like we all talked about, reclassing with a purpose. We got a shout out to Coach Dame Harrison, North East Side in the building.
Oh, the temperature just changed. I already know it.
I
already know it. Oh,
hey,
boy.
Hey, I call myself Mr. Viral, but baby, when I get my big Brody on, it go up. And my man told me that I got more time on the coach's corner if I want. So, fellas, listen, it's Friday, man. We don't have to do this. All right? I can set this
Especially
up
when he
another
leaning
time.
back like that, it's over.
Hey, Dan, you about to get ready to go to camp, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We leave in the morning. So just
Yeah,
getting everything
I miss those type of trips.
Bruh,
situated
I
with that.
fiend to
My
go
little
away
cousin
to a
played for
camp.
you too, Coach, at DePaul.
What's
Oh,
his
yeah?
name?
Makai White.
Oh, yes. I like Makai. He was a good corner for us.
All right. I got a corner over there now, too, Mark.
Yeah, all right.
I got money on the game. You feel me?
Yeah, all right,
You know,
man.
and if he don't work, I'm gonna put the ass on
Yeah, that's
this
definitely
one.
on him.
Hey, Don, I think talk about these scrimmages coming up.
We got some good ones popping up. Hold, let me see what you got. How do we focus on the youth levels to build pride being a lineman in the skill positions? Man, an adult that actually wants to treat the lineman like linemen and make it
And not
fun to
only
be a
that, I think
lineman.
being a dad of a son, my son going into football, his first position is going to be the O-line.
Like that's my thinking. Like I said, when I coached Little League football from 2002 to 2006, obviously was the line coach. I made it fun to be the lineman. Like,
You go
like
over at my house
I
tomorrow.
spoke highly of the lineman. I honestly, I mean, people don't want to understand it, but I used to tell my linemen we're the smartest, most important guys on the field. And I mean, everybody on this track knows they are. It begins and it ends with them. So
I
I
wouldn't say
think
smartest, but
oh, well, hey, man, speak for your own program. I'm just telling you that the
your
way how
quarterback
I
got to
make
be
my
pretty
guys
smart.
understand. He all right. If I ain't got somebody smarter in front of him, that boy gonna be on his pamper. Okay,
Hey,
so act like you
I
know.
do know that a lot of those top guys that end up being running backs in high school all started out on the offensive line. Like Allen Jones was a lineman.
Mm-hmm.
Ad Cherry was a lineman.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't played no skill position in Pop Warner. I was a tight end. I blocked. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get into high school, based on again that word development, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You turn into who you gonna be. And when I got to high school, it was like, oh, he came in fast. Oh, we gonna put him at wing back. Nah, we need the ball in his hand. So they put me at quarterback. And I moved around in those different type of positions, but I was able to adjust. As a kid, you got to learn how to adjust and play multiple positions. So
Adjust. So that means I don't just play receiver every down, and I only want to work at being a receiver. But all I do is catch the ball. I don't know how to stalk block. My bad. Yeah, it's more parts of the game than just scoring touchdowns, But hey, Coach Stone, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think with an offensive lineman, I wrote a blog along. Offensive linemen are still skill positions. Without them, your running back, your quarterback's not going to get time to play. And that's the big thing. Like, just because if you're at a youth level, some kids I think like, oh, I'm big or whatever, I play the O-line. But at the end of the day, it's an important job.
Yes.
And it's like the books I write. You're laying a foundation, and if you teach the kids that's that foundation that you're laying with that O-line, because all five of us here would say, if you have a good offensive line, you don't need a good tailback.
I'm good. I'm good to go.
Because you're already creating a new line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the other thing too, like using tennis balls for the offensive line, and like keeping their hands in and things like that. Just teaching them like to create that new line of scrimmage, kicking off, doing something cool for them, like a player, like a dog of the week, or offensive lineman of the week. Because
let's move some furniture, baby. Let's move some furniture.
An NFL or newspaper or article talk about and the team because of Jason Kelce, the Philadelphia Eagles, or somebody, right? Or Ogden or somebody. They always talk about those quarterbacks, the running backs. They never talk about the offensive line. The last time I remember is when the Redskins had Hogs.
Yeah.
Think about it. That's the last time an offensive line was ever
Leave the door open.
publicized.
Celebrated, right?
this Christmas. You know, the Eagles did a Christmas CD or whatever. The offensive lineman. You don't see it that much.
Right, right. But you know, right now, like Dane made a lot of comments about back in the day. I know it was Pop Warner, so a lot of guys had weight restrictions. I think right now the game that I see a lot of this unlimited weight, right? Like it's even easier now. You're getting the kid that might potentially be a lineman for the rest of his life, type of thing,
Yeah,
right?
I was going to touch on that too.
Yeah,
Like back then, it was a difference. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like
So almost
now,
everybody might have played the line,
it's
So you
catching
got
up. Yeah,
guys that got to go. Now it's changed.
yeah.
And I think with it changing, Coach Stone, like you said, just finding ways to celebrate, find the ways to make those big guys be the big sexies. Okay,
You know how many kids
So,
back then couldn't make weight, and coaches was putting bags on them, trying to force them to lose weight.
yeah,
And it was nothing. It was
I
nothing with
hate
nothing. You know what I'm
hated
saying?
that.
Watching guys run around not eating for the week when there was
Listen,
nothing wrong
I,
with
I
them.
go
It
I
was
go
it
through
was
it
the
now too.
system.
hey
It
yo,
was the system that was
bro,
wrong.
I go through it now as a trainer.
I hate it.
I know once I get July, I'm going to get all the fat kids trying to lose weight. Because now you're trying to tell a 12-year-old kid, a 10-year-old kid to drop 30 pounds, and you can't even do it as an adult.
Fam,
You got to drop 30 pounds in a week and a half, and you can't even do it as an adult.
fam.
Yeah.
Adults create the culture. This is what we talked about with 7-on-7. This is what we talking about with academics, and we talking about it with this. Adults create the culture, man. And if you do it the right way, man, listen. I've been a big man all my life, man. I tell everybody, I'm going out like this, all right? Just make sure that my lineman that I used to coach carry me out. We good to go, all right? But it's one of them things where, like, when you make these guys understand how important they are, because they're the ones, quiet as kept. I know a lot of people like the flashy dudes. We talking about youth football. Those the ones that get the offer first. Like they already big. They already kind of got what the schools is looking for, So
Everybody need linemen.
Everybody need
Everybody need linemen. It don't matter where you at, Bergen.
Matter. And they buying them in bulk. University of Georgia, I think if we looked at the 2024 or 25 class they brought in, every kid over about 6'5", everybody weighing over about 300. They all fresh. They all coming in fresh. They brought in seven of them. Like, listen, they ain't never nobody's gonna tell somebody that we don't want no lineman, bro. Never. And if you hear that, you better run away from that coach. That's all I can tell you. But I want to get into, I'm gonna use that to talk about this whole high school recruiting, and not high school, college recruiting. And we talked about being realistic earlier in the segment, understanding sizes, and we talked about that in the reclasses and what these schools are looking for. Like obviously it's a few things when that college coach walk in there, everybody here will be able to attest that. The first thing is what his eyes can see. Okay, it's the eye test, man. If you're not, like Coach Mark said, working out with your team, getting your body right, pushing yourself, getting yourself together, like you heard me speak highly of Coach G, getting with some really good trainers to help you improve on things that you need to work on. If you could get with guys like I know Coach Harrison that has a superb track program to help you improve that speed instead of just running around doing 7-on-7 this and 7-on-7 that,
And not only that, Don, you know how many times a coach came in December, came in the winter, came back in the spring, and looked at a kid's body and said, "Oh, I could tell you was in a weight room."
Yes.
The kids don't understand that coaches pay attention to stuff like that.
And listen, and so that's the part. The first thing is what he can see. Hey, Coach Stone, explain to me, right? When you set your camps up, what are you telling most of those guys when they come to the camp? Like, what to look out for?
Be coachable. Are you coachable? Are you coachable? And can and you have good grades, and not in that order, but those three things. Because if you're coachable, you'll have grades, right? And you could trust. Maybe not with your daughter, but you. The
bang,
point
bang.
if there's money on the table, they'll bring it back to you, not just stiff it in their pocket.
Right.
And like you were saying, the college coaches, they come in and see these kids. They're coming in shaking their hands to see, one, lying about their height.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Two, if they have a firm shake. That's the biggest thing that I understand, because if a kid's not coachable, they could be the best player ever.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not coachable, you're like those college coaches, and if there's any college coaches on the panel, it's an investment. And you
No
bring
And the
one's
kid hold a
risking their job.
conversation with you and look you in your eye, answer your question straight up.
yeah.
Listen, these college coaches get paid a lot of money. All right. Mom, dad, whoever little kid that's on here looking at what this segment is about. No one is risking their household, okay, for garbage. It's not going to happen. All right. So when he says being coachable, being honest, like these things matter, developing yourself in the off season, these things matter. Your grades, these things matter. Like you have to put it all together. Like Coach said, it's not so much in order, but you better have all of them checked off every day. Okay. Like when you get up, get into that school, you got to make sure that you're turning in those assignments on time. You got to make sure that after school, coach got a weight room segment, like Coach C said, we got a team event, where it's a 3 or 4 day workout. You need to be there them 4 days. You can't substitute that by saying, well, coach, hold up. I do got a training session with my PR, my personal trainer coach over here, so I'm not going to make the team lift. Man, that's the quickest way to find yourself back on that depth chart. But I want kids to also understand that when the college coaches come in, you know who they talking to? Talking to your high school coach. Not talking to your 7-on-7 coach. Okay? Go ahead and just take the air out of all of those guys' heads, or whatever lie they done told y'all. Just let it sit right out of your ear, okay? They're talking to the high school coach. And the high school coach is going to be able to give them the straight up honest answer, because we want him to come back. So if anybody go, man, I didn't get that look, bro, I'm not lying. You missed practice, you late. Like you said, coach, you're not coachable. Bro, coach, here it is, the beware sign. Take it or won't leave it. Now it's going to be on me. And that's how that thing works,
Yeah. I just want to touch on something that you guys keep reiterating, and
Go ahead.
for the people that's watching, because we're all here to inform. The two gentlemen just kept saying coachable. And one of the things I teach my guys is being coachable ain't just saying yes, coach, no, coach.
Mm-hmm.
That just means you're respectable, which is okay. But don't just yes, coach, no, coach me. You're
Right.
respectable, but that don't mean you coachable, right?
Mm-hmm.
What we told our kids being coachable, right, is applying the information. If you're doing this step incorrectly and I instruct you how to do it and you keep messing up, whether
Then
you
you're
tell
not
me
being
yes,
coachable.
coach, or no, coach, you're not coachable.
Not coachable.
Right? So we got to understand that what coachable really means. It's not just yes, coach, no, coach. You're respectable. Thank you.
You're respectable.
Thank you. But being coachable is applying the information that we're guiding you to do, whatever that may be in real life, football, right? Because like Coach Stone said, it's going to trickle off into everything else that you do. If you see garbage on the floor, you're going to pick up the garbage whether you did it or not.
Yeah.
So that's what when we're saying coachable for the people that's watching, that's what we mean. It's not just yes, coach, no, coach.
Here, let me add something to this too. If you are a high school coach, you're listening to this, and you let one of your players go to that college, and he's a bust, and he's the exact opposite you told him, that college coach will not come back.
That's what I said, Coach Stone.
Because every college coach is going to talk about that. And the other thing too, if there's any athletes, listen, guys, I understand you want a job, but these 4 of the guys on the panel will tell you, you'll have to work eventually. So doing the stuff like Coach said, weight room, coachable, doing your grades. Like my went to Western, got a great scholarship because of her grades. You know,
time management big too.
Huh?
Time management.
100%. You can spend all the time you want with your girlfriend. Listen, when you are done with your job. I mean, I don't mean to say football's like a job, but when you go to college, it's a job.
It's a job, yeah.
If you guys ever been to Clemson, I'm telling you right now, you got to go. I went to go with Dobo Sweet. nicest man, brought me in. He let me talk to your tight ends coach. We talked about tight end wing and 2 receivers on the other side. Not lying to you. The biggest thing he said is this: you can have your girlfriend, you can have your thing, but when you go to his campus and you're an athlete, they have like a finger thing. That means when you go into that athletic facility, it tells you everything you do. It tells you everything you do, and even tells you what you eat too.
Mm.
And if you make that commitment, just like all these guys probably have done this or learned the lessons or whatever, you got to understand, it will come out and make you great.
Mm-hmm.
Either be an athlete or a great parent.
Right. Right. Got to understand that part, the real life part about this. Like you said, Coach, eventually, you're going to have to work. So to practice the right things right now. You know, we talking about, I know I got a lot of youth on my network. I know I got a lot of some of my older young adults on my network. You know, at the end of the day, it's still the same thing. You know, do you have to be respectful, like Coach Shee said? Yes. But you also have to be coachable, like Coach Shee and Stone said in the example what was given. Don't do the same thing. I tell you what how to do it, and then you're still doing your own thing. That ain't it. And that's how you don't find yourself, like Coach Stone said, in the Clemsons, because you're just not applying what's given to you. Damn, I heard you say attention to detail. That's a big thing. You have to be able to pay attention to the information that's given to you, so that way you understand how to be great. But if you're not paying attention to the detail, just like, you know, to your homework, because that's kind of where it really starts at when you're in your classroom, you got to pay attention to detail there. And that's if you're not doing it there, then it's not going to happen on the field, and you're not going to get what you're expecting to get. You feel me? So that's my thing right there, man. Fellas, I really appreciate all of the time, man. I'm going to open the floor for y'all. Oh, wait, let me see. I got a good one here. We say, when should we be looking to hire or talk to a recruiter?
Can I go with that?
Please. I'm going to do some things to that.
I don't know if you've seen my son, right? You know, we have my son. He's a sophomore quarterback. And, you know, we have all these places that want him to be recruited in the prep zone, Illinois. Said he's a pretty good quarterback, right? Be your own recruiter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what you put on social media will break you if you do something wrong.
Mm.
And it's not like when we all went to school, we didn't have phone cameras, guys. So we could get away with it. But nowadays,
the good old days.
Nowadays, your Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, like, make your stuff up. You know what I mean? If you want to go to my son thing, Anthony Stone Jr., I believe, quarterback 18 or whatever, how he's doing it is right. He's saying what his GPA is. He's saying what his lifts are, how his lifts were from here to here, how he's improved. Showed his 7-on-7 stuff. You know what I mean? And just showing all, like, his highlight film and things like that. Be your own recruiter. Because if you do it right, your head coach does it for you, I feel you're just spending extra money for a recruiter service.
Hey, can I piggyback off that real quick?
Yeah, definitely was about to ask you. Go ahead.
Yeah, how we telling the kids, be mindful of what you're putting on social media. Parents, be mindful of what you're putting on social media, because these colleges.
Parents, say it again.
Parents, be mindful of what you're putting on your social media, because not only are we looking at your child, we're looking at what you're posting as well. So, you know, just be mindful. I get it, but it's a lot of parents. I see what they got going on. I just so parents as well, be mindful of what you're posting or what you allow to be on your social media page. I get it, you've grown and you can do what you want, but we have to give you the information as well. That's what this platform is for.
I think what they were talking about right there, Sheed, is called protecting the investment.
Yeah.
Okay. The child is the investment. So, you know, I can't post that I'm gonna be at I don't know, the Little Uzi Vert contest with my shirt out. Okay, yeah. But I want you to come recruit my kid. He's bad, bad mofo. Like, nah, you gotta make sure that the same way how we're asking the kid to keep his page clean, you have to keep your page clean. And I mean, to the best. Like she said, you know, you're an adult, I get it, but I mean, at the end of the day, if we're all talking about adults here, We know we got jobs that be watching too. So
Yeah.
make sure you're mindful about what you're posting, because you might get caught up out of there. You know, nowadays, kids' IG pages are blank. Does that hurt as well? Because technically, there's nothing there. IG, I mean, I'm gonna just chime in on. I know what you said, Coach Stone, with your son and what he has on his Twitter. Twitter is the avenue, if you ask me. You know, like
Yes.
IG is a fun place to be. You know, Facebook is a family place to be, if you ask me. The fact that it's blank, that don't really concern. The problem is Fistus. Okay, now I don't know if everybody understands what
Yeah, I
those
know
mean.
exactly what that is.
I
Fake
talk about that
Instagram
all
accounts.
the time.
Yes, fake Instagram accounts. Now those aren't blank, Coach. So kids need to understand that just because you think you have a Fista, they will find that too. Okay, so when we say conducting yourself in a manner on social media that is something that want to be marketable, you got to put yourself in the right spots. So the fact that it's blank, I don't have a problem with it being blank. I just don't want it blank and Fista is going crazy. Like, clear it all. At the end of the day, we're talking about 2024 now. Like Coach said earlier, it ain't back in the day where you had to have the VCH TV camcorder on, baby. You know, y'all showing what Freaknik was, but y'all don't know what Freaknik was. Okay, so you feel me? That's a whole nother story. But nowadays, Mark, you go ahead and finish it off, man.
I had a coach come in. One of my kids' Twitter wasn't like up to par. Like, it wasn't nothing bad on there, but it wasn't really nothing on there. And he was like, "So you not sociable, huh? You don't talk very much." He said that got to change. He said, but this Twitter we talking about, not Instagram.
Okay.
And I tell my kids all the time that. I said, I be on Twitter. I see somebody go get an offer. I'm going to follow them coaches. Hit them up. Talk to them.
Yeah.
I always tell my kids, Instagram is for play. Twitter is for business.
That's a great thing about Twitter too. If a coach follows you, like, you should be like, thanks for the follow, you know, or you follow that coach back. Like, my son's been following all the coaches back, and then when something comes up, he retweets it, or like, thanks a lot for everything.
See, Coach Mike Bryce is 2 in the morning. All right.
Oh yeah, we got the green and
white.
white.
Got the green and white going over there. You know, West Stars, we're not gonna be doing no green and white or blue and white. We're gonna just we need to focus on the main thing. Want to know every day. Coach Dame, I know you got to get yourself going. Y'all get ready to camp. How long y'all gonna be camping out there? 3 days?
Yeah. We going. Actually, we going 2. Going 2 days. I'm not gonna count that third day. We come back on that Monday. We got a scrimmage. I think I got a pretty decent scrimmage set up on Monday.
Hey, listen, man, don't have the police pulling up, man. I read the Star Ledger. I see what you got going over there. Don't be having no PD having to come break up no mess down there. That big red machine you got. Come on now.
Listen, man. I think it's gonna be pretty interesting, man. You know, I invited Barringer over. So I got Barringer, Franklin, and St. Peter's, which I think is going to be pretty good test for us. You know, just to see where we are as a team. I'm excited. The kids is ready. And you know, we're just gonna continue to work, man. Continue to work and continue to build. I'm stumbling over words, man.
What you know it's not gonna go how they think. Is that what you're gonna say to me, sir? It's not gonna go how they think it's gonna go. Week 0, live at the Mountain Air Classic, Northeast Side versus Plainfield High School.
I got phone calls and, you know, God, oh hey man, where you scrimmaging?
Here go Sheed. You know, dropping that Salt Bay in there.
Where you scrimmaging that? You trying to hide your scrimmages, bro? I'm not hiding. We scrimmage at home on Monday. We got Bloomfield on the 22nd.
Nice.
What time is that Bloomfield scrimmage?
That's at it's gonna be in the
Uh,
morning, 10 a.m.
They about to collab. That's that North
You know
collab
what I
right
mean?
there.
I
Like
gotta get
Mark,
there. I got Bloomfield week 0.
week 0. As I said, Mark, you got
so
Bloomfield first out the
I
gate.
but
So I feel
I
you.
ain't hiding, man. I'm not hiding. I'm just coaching my kids. I'm developing my kids.
How's Jakeem doing, Coach?
Jakim is doing really well.
Yeah. I coached his older cousin Brandon Brown at JUCO.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
Brandon. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get him right.
Yeah. Come
Yeah,
on.
nah, Ja is the dude, man.
Yeah, nah, Brandon was the
Ja's the
same way.
dude.
Brandon's probably one of the best receivers I ever coached.
Yeah,
He's pure
Ja's
talent
the
wise.
dude.
Yeah.
Bruh.
He
She, this some bitch, and I don't give a fuck we on. All right, Coach Stone, I don't like my friends. Okay, this joker here beats us in overtime, right? With a Hail Mary play to
Probably
who?
to that kid, Ja.
To that kid, dog. Yo, first of all, that was one of 3 touchdowns.
I already
Dog,
do it.
I said, you know what, man? I'm done. I'm done with this guy.
Yeah.
If this guy was my real friend, he would not let this kid abuse my team like that. So now we had to build up some sports, we get some guys right. But nah, I salute that young man, man. He doing some really big things, for real.
Yeah.
Coach Stone, man, give him a rundown in the background, about what who you representing, what you got going on. Give me the whole rundown. We doing this every 2 weeks. I know somebody said thank you for for what we got going on here. Everything, like you heard Coach Shee said, man, it's just about more so wanting to inform, man, wanting to put people on, get people to understand what I said before, being realistic, just being realistic. So Coach Stone, you got the floor.
Well, I saw a question about someone said they have a quarterback that they want to pay $1,300 for.
Please go ahead and handle that.
Don't pay that. Just do Twitter. Twitter. Tell your son to fill out questionnaires.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Fill out questionnaires. Unless you want to give the money to the podcast, that's what I would do.
I would definitely do that. I like that idea.
1,300 is crazy.
You're gonna learn more. I tell you that much.
My name's Coach Anthony Stone. I've had two college coaching stints. I played in the South Side of Chicago as a young guy. I was a top 100 state quarterback back in the day. But now when I say top 100, it was in the whole state with all positions. I was in there. And I was top 25 in my area as a quarterback in the South Side of Chicago. And then I went to BC and Kansas for my first year, and then I transferred out, and I went to Loras and played 4 years, and I set a couple school records as a quarterback. And then eventually I got back in a little after, like 7 years after I was done playing. Right when I got done playing in 01, I literally got my first opportunity to college coach. Walking off the field, became a college coach, tried out for numerous indoor football teams, and then I was able to play indoor football in 2009. I was 6 years out of the game. No, 7 years out of the game, and I just tried it and I made it, and then went back to college coaching. I've won a gold medal with a women's tackle team. 201-0 as a defensive coordinator. Still a all-national USA football record. Now I stopped coaching a little bit. Then I went back to high school coaching, coached quarterbacks at Rockford Boylan, and then my son decided that he wanted to go to a public school in Rockford, and now I'm at Rockford East coaching running back and quarterbacks, and he's a quarterback.
Okay.
Hey, Coach, I'm gonna have to get your number, man. I want to pick your brain a little bit.
Oh,
That's a lot of knowledge right there, man. I know
Listen,
you can't let that go. I gotta get that number. I need that now.
Dame, I was gonna do this right here because I ain't even want to have to brush off his own shoulder. You feel me? Like, man.
Yeah.
I swear I'm not that quarterback thing anymore. But I've written a numerous number of books that have won multiple awards, tackle, flag, and tackle bar. And I books out, DIY books. My company is Coach Stone Football. If you go to CoachStoneFootball.com, I do customized camps. I think next year, I'm going to tell you here on this thing, it looks like I'm going to start doing combines. I'm going to try to do them as cheap as possible so players get their stuff out. I came up with a routine about how to do it.
I got a facility for you.
Well, if you have a facility, I'm telling you right now, I think the kids would love it, and it would make them marketable. Because I have a great idea how to do everything with it. I have a couple of companies that are like going to back me. It looks like. So we'll see what happens in 2025. But I travel the world with all my kids. I've been to Australia, South Korea, Sweden, Germany, Canada. Might be going back to Australia in March of this year.
Okay. Okay.
But I've been to South Korea. Was a trip. I don't know if you guys ever been there, but doing a football camp on bases is pretty crazy. It's awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Look. You see,
Dane, you better chill. Don't get my son on him, bro. I don't know how old he is, but you gotta chill. You're doing a lot right now, bro.
Hey, see, he do this all the time, man.
Don't make me call my little man, bro. Don't do that.
He got the leg curl too, leg extension machine on this. Seacoast Stone. This what you
same joint.
this what you got to deal with, man. These real coaches right here, like they don't go home and be dads. They still keep the whistle on and shit, man.
Already, so don't worry.
That's funny.
Oh man, Mark, man, go ahead, man. Give your last words, man. Happy that you showed up to me tonight,
Hey,
man. Appreciate you.
I'm excited for the season. You pretty much seen a clip of a preview of what we can be this year.
Mm-hmm.
Senior led, not a senior led. I got a pretty much a good mixture of seniors and young guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just like the team got my swagger now. Like it's my team now. Like it's my guys.
Okay.
Right. This my third year being a head coach, and I got a couple guys with a couple offers. So it's a great place right now and a great spot to be in. So I'm excited to see. We play Group 5 school week 0. So I'm excited about that.
So, man, according to the whole trajectory, you might be a Group 4, but we're gonna keep that on the wraps until we get the proof, fellas. Until we get the proof. All right.
I've been looking every day, waiting for it to come out. So, hey, man, we just got to play the game week by week, man. That's it. Can't complain about that.
That's the goal, man. That's the thing I'm preaching on my side. 1-0, man, every day.
That's it.
We could win the day, man, and stack good days. We're gonna put ourselves in good position.
That's it,
man. Shout out, like I said, to my guy Darnell Grant, head coach of West Orange High School. We have our first ever Mountaineer Football Classic kicking off. That's what you guys heard me teasing Coach Dame about. We're gonna play 5 games in 3 days. The first night is going to be Verona's going to play Jefferson. On a Thursday night, it's going to be a good matchup. Some guys will come out and see that program. The next matchup you're going to have, I believe, is going to be Snyder versus Hillside. Those two big-time players on their team. Hillside has, I believe, Darren is the number 1 defensive lineman, I believe, in New Jersey. And then you got the kid from Snyder might be the number 1 linebacker in New Jersey. They're gonna go
DJ McClary.
McClary, right? They're gonna go toe to toe on the afternoon segment, and then that night segment, you got what they kind of consider to be Battle of the Oranges. But I just want to go 1-0. Sheet, I don't want to do.
I hear you, man.
You got your Orange High School coming up to the mountain to play the host West Orange High School. That's gonna be a good fun matchup, and then last day, Saturday, we're going to have Northwest Side taking on, who is Northwest Side taking on? Columbia. Yes. Coach Mobley and the Columbia Cougars will be taking on West Side. And the nightcap, see, you thought we was the best. No, we saved the best for last. And the nightcap will be brought in by Newark Eastside Red Raiders taking on the Plainfield Cardinals. This one right here, fellas, is going to be all that you want to be at. But y'all out of town, I believe, right?
So we got Pope John week 0.
Okay. Good matchup. I like that matchup.
Yeah, and then we got Good Counsel.
That's the one I was talking about. Yeah, Maryland. Yeah.
That's a nice one right there.
Yeah. That's the one. Hey, BJ, y'all going to go down there, right, Sheed?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, man. We don't play them until week 1, so I don't be knowing.
I got you. I'm sorry. Put the blinders on. I'm sorry, fellas. Put the blinders back on.
Yeah, I don't be knowing, man. We got Malcolm prep scrimmage next week. I don't be knowing what's going on.
Yeah, hey, BJ, I'll shoot you the DePaul schedule, man. A lot of talent on that team, man. it's gonna be a good game when you
Yeah,
get
but I
down there.
do
on
think
that.
we're down. I do think we're down there.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
I got June Pierre. I got the Orange Nation in here. See, that's why we wanted to say nothing, okay? But they said the tornadoes are still buzzing around. I just never, Coach Stone, I never heard of a tornado being in the mountain. But I mean, that's just me. You know, I be studying sometimes. You know, is that that's not. I don't want to talk. What is that thing? The forecast and all of that. I ain't no Sam Champion. All right, so I don't know nothing about that type of stuff. But you know, listen, fellas, all four of y'all and everybody that's on the check-in, I truly, truly appreciate y'all for chiming into the Coach's Corner. What's the name of DePaul Catholic? DePaul Catholic, BJ is with Coach Sheed is. Coach Mark is at Newark Central High School. Coach Dame Harrison is at Newark Eastside High School, and of course you got me. All these schools of Jersey. West Orange High School, all Essex County guys, you know, chiming in. What I'm sorry,
I'm from New York, man. Y'all Jersey people crazy.
Yeah, she don't get down with the she don't get down.
From New York, man.
Hey, Coach Stone, let me tell you a quick funny story, right? You know, me and we chopping it up at the park and shit. And she's like, yo, man, what the fuck is wrong with y'all down here, man? I'm like, what you mean? He said,
that Jersey pride is different, man.
He's like, listen, I ain't got no dog in the race, man, but it be too many bullets come from too many places, dog. Like, what the fuck going on?
Yo, Jersey pride is crazy, man.
You know,
I like it though.
Yeah, it's all love. Hey, Coach Stone, I'm also let you know, so my program, Coach Mark program and Coach Dane program, public school, Coach She, obviously DePaul Catholic is a parochial school, but it's love. You know what I'm saying? It's all real. You know what I mean? We spar. Yeah, we talk a little jazz. You know what I'm saying? So I might tell a kid to come play for me. Don't play for him. You know, that's how that goes. A little jazz. You know, I don't want to Mars. We want a little bit. You know, but you know, but it be healthy conversation. And I like for people to see this type of interaction because I know there is a narrative. You know, me and we talk about it all the time, and we all know that. You know that there is a narrative. That's being painted that we kind of don't want people to paint. The narrative I want painted is real, recognize real, and start recognizing who's real. You know what I mean? It goes a long way. Like we just seen somebody trying to get $1,300 for a kid. Like they'll take you to the bank, man. These money grabs, man, they will take you to the bank on terminologies, you know, exposure, national. They throw these words at people, and next thing you know, you find yourself in a real bad spot, you know. But I know next time we'll talk. I'm trying to think, man. What's our next time we're gonna be on, man? Wait a minute. This might be the last time. Unless I switch the date, because the next 2 weeks it will be week 0, and everybody's gonna be hot and heavy. You feel me? So maybe I'll make it a Labor Day classic. We might do something on the Sunday. I'll keep everybody informed. You know what I mean? Post it up, reaching out to everybody, letting you guys know. We can all probably work together on what works best. But I know everybody right now, like I said, is getting into the thick of things. You know what I mean? And okay, off the top sports on this Thursday, they must gonna do the high school kickoff preview. So that's gonna be interesting to see how that goes. But again,
I thought about something too. I wanna run by you, Don.
mm-hmm.
You know how everybody got they watch lists in their towns and in their counties, man. We need to do a Newark watch list, man, to put people on notice. Like when they go to the game, they don't know who these kids are. They just go into the game and say, "Oh, I see this kid number 4, he's okay," you know, or I see the kid number 1, he's okay. Why not do a watch list? Watch this quarterback from North Central, or this quarterback from West Side, or do a watch list. You know what I'm saying? Just to give them an idea of who these kids are in the city, man. These kids
I
are
think
doing
that'd be
phenomenal.
dope, though. I think that'd be dope.
They're doing phenomenal things, man. They're not out here hitting nobody in no head. They're being role models for a lot of these younger kids that's walking around. Like I heard a kid leaving today from practice, the Pop Warner kids, and they talking about, I want to be just like X. I want to be like Xavier. You don't see how he throw the ball? Like, bro, you got kids creating their own coaches. You know what I'm saying? And people need to know who these kids are. Like we need to. Why not highlight these kids in the good and instead of waiting for something bad to happen, because they're gonna put that all over the place. You see that stuff on billboards.
Yeah.
I think
Hey, June, you heard that, man? You
I
heard
think,
that?
dang, I'll be free. Shit, I get back from camp Thursday. You get back Monday. I leave Tuesday, get back Thursday.
Yeah,
Then I got a game scrimmage as soon as I get back.
we'll be in. That's the 22nd. So we'll be in that scrimmage with Bloomfield on that Thursday. But
Yeah, I'll be free probably Friday after I bring the guys in and watch film.
yeah,
So,
man,
Yo,
let's do it,
listen,
man.
listen. I'll pull up. You know, my schedule will be different from y'all's with the the whole mountaineer lifestyle. So I'll pull up. You know what I'm saying? Get some names. Reach out to some coaches. You know, get some names. But again, I want every other coach that's live on the network that can see me talking is. I just don't want to know that he's a good kid. I mean, I don't a good talent. Like I want
No,
it all.
that
You
part,
know, I
that
want the
part.
watch list to show that this kid is. You know what? I ain't even gonna say it no more. Hey, Dane, give me the rundown on Jakim right now. Give me the rundown.
Jakim Brown. Jakim lives in Pilgrim. Lives in Pilgrim. Goes to
Mm-hmm.
American History High School.
Okay.
Jakim has a 3.2 GPA.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Height and weight.
Height. Jakim is now he was 5'11", but he just came from the doctor. Jakim is now 6'1",
Mm-hmm.
6'1", 188 pounds.
Don't go nowhere,
Um,
Mark. I got you next.
188 pounds, and he just dropped his 40 time from whatever they said it was from before. He clocked in at a 4.6 at Stony Brook,
Mm-hmm.
and like I'm just that's pretty
So
much it on Ja.
so this is what I'm saying. Like when this watch list is made, this watch is gonna be made with first name, last name, school, height, weight, GPA, because like Coach Stone would know, like they want to just know more than just
More
the
than
kid can jump out the roof and catch a
that part.
football.
Well, so
He also he also a track guy. He run track and like he take care of his little sister, man. He tutors. He also tutors kids. And people don't know that he tutor people in math, and he has a tattoo business. Jakim is a tattooist. He got his own business. I told him how to get his own LLC. He has his own LLC as a tattoo artist. He got his license and everything.
Dope.
Coach Stone, what you got?
well, I was gonna say the one thing I did with that, we're talking about that combine I want to do. I have a questionnaire that I'm almost done with. Well, I'm done with it, but that would be like something you want to do for these kids because you don't want to really say what their address is or anything like that. You just want their high school possibly. But like the height and weight thing, that's great. But you try to ask, like, put it honestly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
Coach Harrison said about hobbies or things like that. Want that and their major. You know what I mean? So even though, and we all know this because I know I was when I was getting recruited. Even though I wanted to be a science teacher, everyone was telling me to do all these other things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And until I broke my ankle in half, and I couldn't do chemistry classes anymore, that's why I became a PE teacher. So now I get to wear shorts every day, and I love it. But I love blowing stuff up when I was becoming a science teacher. I was gonna be like Mr. Wizard, and before Bill Nye, the science guy. That's who I
That was gonna be you.
blow stuff up. I one time did a class in elementary, and they were doing volcano. I went to that cafeteria, and they gave me everything I needed.
How much
blew up
baking
that water
soda did you put in that damn thing, man?
I blew up that water bottle, dude.
Hey yo,
Loaded. I told the from it. I mean, you might be able to see it on my Facebook because the one kid, I don't videotape the kids, right? The one kid goes, "Don't do this at home, kids." And I blew that thing up.
That's funny.
My boy, my boy. So, like I said, fellas, let's work together. Let's try to keep this thing rolling, man. I think we got great energy, man. Then we got great responses. She, man, again, I have to. You know what I'm saying? Big respects, man. I'm happy I got you out here, man. You
hey,
talked
Sheed,
about
I need that freshman game, Sheed. I need that.
here
I'm
they
just
go.
a
See,
soldier,
I
man.
was see, it's not me, see.
It kinda
I didn't
shows,
say
man.
anything. I didn't say
It man.
anything.
Nah, see, but I asked Sheed. Come on, Sheed. I asked you a long time ago. We talked about that a
Yeah,
while
yeah.
ago.
We already know. I'll talk to the, my guy, my head guy.
We're gonna go off the grid, okay? Now I want to incorporate or get anybody incarcerate on what we got going on here. Okay,
Nah,
thank you, fellas.
He's terrible, man.
I don't want to live anymore if you're talking about trading film.
Yeah, listen, you know, the man gotta watch it, Stone. Gotta watch it, man.
I don't
Hey, yo.
stop saying anything, dude. I plead the Fifth Amendment.
Listen, like I said, once again, fellas, I appreciate and thank y'all for coming out, man. Everybody else that tuned in, man, keep tuning in. Tell a friend that it's them again, giving y'all the great high quality information that you're going to need for not only for yourself, but for your kid and your future, man. That's what this is about. So again, like I always have to tell everybody, peace, man. Just like, let's say, signing out. Happy for everybody chiming in, man. It's just,
Yo, good luck this season, fellas.
I'm
And
over. I'm excited.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
get
excited.
it, man. Go get it.
And if y'all done, if somebody finished, you know, before somebody, you know, y'all come on, check me out. Come on, check me out. Hey, but listen, we can't finish at the same time, all right? Because like your game got to be before my game, because I got to be at two places at once.
Tell you know where we gonna be, so I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, I just said, hey, put the blinders on, put the blinders
I don't know
on.
what to tell you, man.
All right, baby boys, I'm out of here.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.